So I'm packing for a river float. I'm from Tangipahoa Parish, and half my life we've floated down the Tangipahoa River in a flat bottom boat. Some people call it a john boat or a bateau. And what we'll do is float, we'll get in, have somebody drop us off with the boat and our gear, and just float from Kentwood to Tangipahoa, Tangipahoa to Amite, or Amite to Independence, Independence to Tickfall, Tickfall to Laranja. We would hit those, get in at a bridge, float the river, fishing, just working the bank, going with the current. And then when we saw the bridge, we'd call somebody and say, hey, come pick us up at the Independence Bridge or whatever. So we get somebody to pick us up, and we'd load the boat up and go. Sometimes, several times, we've done campouts where we'll go a long stretch of the river and camp out on the beach that night. And that's what we're gearing up for now. And somebody might be interested in doing this. We bass fish. We use spinner rods and top water and some crankbaits. Somebody might be interested in doing this. I hope you don't, because it leaves more fish for us. But we've also done the Amite River in Livingston Parish. And this time, because Smitty's blew up in Arcola, which probably got contaminants in the Tangipahoa River, we're going to go do the Bogue Chitto from Mount Herman to Franklinton, and that's going to be a long stretch. So I'm just showing the gear that we're bringing. Like I said, we've done it a lot, and somebody might be interested in doing this. So let's get to it. I'm using this Sea Line waterproof bag. Sometimes the boat might leak, the rivets on the bottom might leak, and it can get a little water in the bottom. Not nothing that's going to sink you, but it can get a little water in the bottom. So instead of your just normal backpack getting wet and then your sleeping bag getting wet, it's better to have something like this. I don't know what liter this is, but it's a Sea Line. I wish I had a lighter color, because this sitting in the sun all day tends to get everything inside of it pretty hot. Sleep system is going to be a hammock. I've got this little cheap Walmart thing the temperature is going to be in the mid 80s during the day. Right now it's the beginning of October. So the temperatures right now are in the mid 80s in Louisiana, southeast Louisiana, and then the low should be 63, 65. So it should be perfect other than mosquitoes. So anyway, I'm using this for just a little thin layer to have on my hammock, underneath my hammock, so that the cold air doesn't suck the heat out of me underneath it. So we got the pad. Sleep system is going to be this hammock with a mosquito net, and then a camouflage tarp, 10 by 10. I like it draping over me a lot on each side. And then I have a Swagman roll. It's like a poncho liner. Slash, you can zip it up and make a sleeping bag, or you could just use it as a quilt. It's pretty. When we went on the Appalachian Trail, I used this and long johns from -33, the expedition, and I was comfortable at 50. I don't like being cold, and I don't tolerate a lot of cold. Probably because I ain't got a lot of meat on my bones. But if -33 long johns and this got me to 50, I think a t-shirt and shorts with this should do 65 okay. And the good thing about leaving it loose and not packing it in its own little pack, in its own little container, that sleeping bag, is you can cram that sleeping bag into nooks and crannies in this bag here. For clothes, I'm going to wear shorts and a t-shirt. So for clothes, if it gets a little chilly, I can always put the skull cap on. It's gonna be my head's gonna be popping out of the sleeping bag. And I've got some long wool socks I can pull up and almost make pants. Because I'm not gonna bring nothing, I'm not gonna bring any pants. So I've got a shamag, 100 different reasons for this. I might make it a little pillow if I don't use it for something else. Oh, and then I got some stakes because we're probably going to be in the sand. So I don't even know if these stakes are going to work to put the tent, to hold the tarp down, but we're going to bring it. Water-wise, I'm bringing 6 waters. I'm bringing 2 energy packets, the Celsius, and then I've got some, for food, I got some beef jerky, some little pastries, a Laura bar, and we're going to bring Italian deer sausage, not Italian deer sausage, smoked deer sausage to eat on the grill. So I've got the tongs to turn that, and then I've got an old grill out of a stove, and we're going to probably just put some logs on each side, or I might even cut some sticks to put on each side like this with some wires in them to hold it up above the fire. The tongs, also bringing a knife with a little homemade sheath. That's going to be used more for just either cutting for the grill or to like chop little limbs and stuff or whatever tree that I'm going to be slinging my hammock on, just to get some of the underbrush or whatever. What else? Then I'm bringing a little scrub thing to scrub the grill off, scrubbing pad to scrub the grill off. The medical, we're not bringing a lot of medical. I mean, I got the shamag. I've got some duct tape on my lighter. If I have to, I'll tie the shamag into a tourniquet. I do have a tourniquet. So the medical is going to be the shamag to stop bleeding if needs be, with duct tape if I have to. I've got the tourniquet, and then I've got some Band-Aids and some Tylenol. I also have this compass. I've got a compass on my watch, but it doesn't hurt to have 2 compasses, and also it's got a mirror. So if something gets in my eye or something like that, I also have eye drops to rinse something out of my eye. And I'm not a professional with a compass, but I do know how to follow a straight line and go straight east. So for some reason, if I can't follow this winding river south to get out and I have to hit the woods, I've got 2 compasses to make sure that I'm heading due east or due west to get me out of the woods. Got a little night light. Got a bandana for washing my face or you know, whatever, wiping my face for sweat. Toothbrush, toothpaste, and normal stuff, deodorant, and some dude wipes for using a bathroom. And that's all the gear. We're trying to keep it light. We do a lot, like I said, we do Appalachian Trail, I mentioned that before, which we do ultra light camping on that. I've grabbed a few things from that. We do have the conveyance of the boat, but I don't want to overload the boat with weight. Some of these places on these rivers can be shallow, and if you're constantly dragging the bottom, hitting gravel, it's just a pain in the butt. So you want to try to keep the boat as light as possible. I'm also bringing a chair from Academy that we use in the bleachers for football games, because sitting in that boat humped over all day for 8 hours sucks. So we're going to try that out for a change. The river tackle gear that I've just got a box, put tinfoil tape over the top to try to stop that sun from baking these rubber lures in here, to try to bounce that sunlight off. Nothing too special. Got some top water, got some crawfish, what we call blue boy, but I don't know exactly what it's called. some crawfish, some frogs, and a lot of humdingers. Those are usually what works the best. I got a little some pork frogs. Those usually work the best. The humdingers. Got a baseball cap just to try to keep some of that sun off my face. 2 fishing poles, Abu Garcias. One of them's a light spinner, 5.5 foot pole, and one of them's a medium casting, 5.5. One of them's left-handed, one of them's right-handed. I'm left-handed, so, but I, you know, when you grow up in a right-handed world, you got to be able to use both. So that's about it. I hope somebody can gather from this something, maybe get some ideas on what we're bringing. Maybe get an idea, maybe floating this. Like I said, you can float this, you can find you a section from bridge to bridge where it's 4 hours, it's 6 hours. But we're going on an extended trip just to kind of, because me and my best friend Joseph, usually in October we do some type of out and about adventure. And in May, on our birthdays, we use, my birthday and his birthday, we do some type of get out and go somewhere. It's hard to do anything more than that with kids and the way work is in life and stuff like that. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Bear with me. I'm new at this. But for many years, I've thought that all the crap that I get into on a daily basis, somebody might want to watch it or gather some kind of knowledge from it. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you.